Hi, today is August the 19th, 2017. This is Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyersportsbetting.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let's throw out a few concepts here this morning first, right? For the hardcore gamblers among you, I need to have you look at Bitcoin Cash right now. I need to have you look at Dash right now. This is one of those inflection points in cryptocurrency. Markets are figuring out that these are two of the best cryptocurrencies. They offer instantaneous transactions, right? Bitcoin Cash has the same scarcity that Bitcoin has. Understand, the way they forked it, you only have a limited amount of Bitcoin Cash out there, right? So it's going to retain value better than coins like Dogecoin, for example. And of course, when you're talking about Dash, you're talking about privacy features that Bitcoin Cash doesn't have. Also, unlike some other coins that are talking about side chains and stuff like that, you're hearing about Lightning Network and, you know, chains that are supposed to be off one blockchain. Well, both of these cryptocurrencies, which give you almost instantaneous transactions, right? Both of them are all on-chain. In my opinion, that's technologically superior, right? Both are exploding today. By exploding, I'm talking about both are up over 30% today. You need to pay attention to that before you even think about betting on sports, right? Cryptocurrency, that's a bet you can make that could conceivably continue to pay you, right, weeks or years from now. Okay, let's shift to boxing. I know the MMA crowd's a bit surprised by the smugness of the boxing crowd, right? The folklore was that if they got 8-ounce gloves, Floyd Mayweather supporters were going to say, "Oh, lordy, lordy. Now McGregor's going to have even more punching power. Given that he's much bigger than Floyd, now is the time to panic." Right? Quite the opposite. You do know, don't you, that Floyd has extensive experience with 8-ounce gloves. Extensive, right? I hope the MMA crowd also understands that there are many in the boxing community, let me raise my hand right here because I'm one of them, who believe that Floyd Mayweather actually hits harder than Conor McGregor. In interviews, Shane Mosley was recently on the Colin Cowherd show, right? Others have talked about this. Paulie Malignaggi has talked about this. You have many in boxing who saw the sparring tape of McGregor with Malignaggi, who talk about McGregor slapping with his punches. Right? Let's remove the code word, right? By slapping, what they're telling you is that he's not hitting as hard as he could be. He's not getting the leverage behind the shots that he could be getting, right? Mayweather gets the leverage. I'm sure many people have seen some recent Mayweather fights where he didn't get stoppages against people like Canelo, Robert the Ghost Guerrero, Manny Pacquiao, right? An argument can be made that all three of the guys I just mentioned are headed to the Hall of Fame. Right? Be that as it may, understand Floyd's career has knocked out about 50% of his opponents. So if you saw Floyd in a fight where Floyd didn't get the KO, understand that for every one of those fights, there's a fight where Floyd did get the KO. So when many in the boxing community hear that the gloves are going from 10 to 8, right? Some of us, at least me, are thinking that that makes the odds of a Mayweather KO even that much more likely. Now, Floyd has been talking about being on his front foot, and that shocked some people, right? Floyd's talking about hunting down Conor McGregor. I know there's a narrative out there, and it's narratives like this on which casinos get to pay for gold ornaments and stuff like that, get to subsidize your buffet, get to put in a new plush carpet, right? These are the narratives that hurt gamblers, that transfer money from gamblers to casinos, right? Somewhere a shareholder of the MGM is saying, oh, great, thank God for this narrative. More money for me, more beer for us, right? The narrative is that McGregor's just so big. So Floyd is going to be running in the fight, right? Obviously, if anybody's going to come forward, it has to be the bigger man, right? That's the mythology. That's the trap they've set for you. Just like bees hitting flying paper, right? Many gamblers are thinking, yeah, the fighter on his front foot has to be McGregor, right? Folks, let me break it down to you this way. In my opinion, it takes a while for a fighter to develop a back foot game, right? What we call the ability to stick and move, actually be offensive backing up, right? The fighters who have a back foot game early in their careers, who are comfortable conceding the pocket, backing up, and still being able to win, are fighters with an amateur pedigree, right? You have guys in the sport who fought for a long time in the amateurs, actually have Olympic medals, who then enter the sport having fought a lot of other guys, right? Golovkin, for example. Isn't Floyd an Olympic medalist? And so the point is, these guys have been on their country's national teams in many cases. They've fought in things like the Gold Gloves, amateur tournaments. So then early in their careers, okay, the guy has a little bit of a back foot game. The guy has skills he's picked up in the ring, in his prior experience. Here, Conor McGregor has no boxing experience. He's not going to have a back foot game. When Floyd Mayweather comes forward and smothers Conor McGregor, and he'll be able to smother him, right? He'll be able to smother his punches because McGregor needs space to get off his shots. What's the best punch he hits Paulie Malignaggi with? Isn't it a straight left hand from distance? Right? I don't think McGregor is Roberto Duran, a fighter who could operate with a full ensemble of punches up close, right? That's the genius of Roberto Duran. The fight ends up in a phone booth. Duran's still able to get leverage on both hands. He's able to block your shots. That's not Conor McGregor. If you're a fighter who can't operate on your back foot, right? McGregor's not Ray Robinson against Gene Fullmer, folks, right? If you can't operate on your back foot, if you don't have the capability to throw what we call a phantom punch now, right? An Ali punch where he's backing up and Sonny Liston is coming in on him. If you don't have the ability to throw power shots, defend yourself on your back foot, then you're finished if your opponent gets you on your back foot. Floyd Mayweather knows that if he gets up close to Conor McGregor, McGregor might not, even if he has game from distance, McGregor might not be able to get off quality shots up close. That's a different skill set. You heard me here online talk about mid-range hookers, guys who can hook up close. You have other guys, Omar Figueroa, who fascinates me right now. The guy who retired Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who could actually throw power punches with you right up on him. Right? They claim Rocky Marciano, and you could look at the film, you could make the decision yourself, but they claim Rocky Marciano beats Jersey Joe Walcott on a punch that travels no more than 6 inches. I don't believe Conor McGregor is that kind of puncher. I think he's the guy who, if he extends his hands, all the MMA highlights I've seen are McGregor like leaning forward and hitting guys with bombs from distance. A lot of boxing is positioning. I believe Mayweather, who's a master strategist, right? The best part of Mayweather's game is mental. I believe Mayweather knows that if McGregor is getting off big shots from distance, if he can just get inside of that distance, maybe McGregor can't throw those big shots. If he gets further inside on McGregor, and Floyd has an inside game, maybe McGregor won't be able to throw anything meaningful backing up on his back foot, because again, that's a different set of skills. Right? So, yeah, I expect Floyd to come forward. Folks, Floyd fought Canelo. I want you to revisit that first round. I want you to ask yourself, who's the guy who's actually creating the action? Who's actually coming forward and hitting the other guy in the body and trying to make a fight of it? It might shock some people that it's Floyd Mayweather. That's in the Canelo fight. Folks, I know people are split on this. I'm on the side of the aisle who believes that Canelo's real calling card is his punch power. I believe he has one of the biggest punches pound for pound in boxing. And against that guy with a big punch, Floyd Mayweather is coming forward. So why wouldn't Mayweather come forward on a guy who might not have any back foot game whatsoever, who's in his first professional boxing match? Yes, I expect Floyd to come forward. Let's talk about something else. And one of the viewers here pointed this out. You know, it takes a certain skill set to protect your body in boxing, doesn't it? Right? You'll notice guys like Joshua Clottey with long arms make sure that they have an arm draped by their side so you don't hit them in the body. Right? MMA guys don't have to learn those skills because they're looking at different things. They have to focus on whether the guy's going to kick them in the shin. Right? They're focusing on the guy's legs and stuff like that. I don't believe an MMA guy is going to have the focus to protect his body in a boxing match. I want you to consider the possibility that Floyd Mayweather doesn't even have to hit Conor McGregor in the head to score a knockout. Mayweather conceivably, and Mayweather's a devastating body puncher, Mayweather conceivably could just hit McGregor in the body with so many left hooks that the fuel in McGregor's tank just keeps getting lower and lower. Right? I want people to revisit the Liam Smith Canelo fight. Right? Canelo just decides, hey, I'm going to take away this guy's body. Liam Smith is down. That fight is over. Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya. right? I thought Oscar was looking good against Hopkins. He gets hit in the liver. Folks, it's over. Right? De La Hoya's on the canvas. He's awake. He wants to get up. A good liver shot takes away your legs. Are you confident that Conor McGregor... It's laughable to me. I see the fight as a mismatch. Are you confident that Conor McGregor knows how to protect his body in a boxing match? So I wouldn't be surprised if the fight starts and McGregor runs over to Floyd Mayweather and tries to do a Marcus Maidana, finds out that he can't, and then Floyd decides, hey, I'm going to walk this guy down. I don't believe what Floyd told Stephen A. Smith is that controversial. Right? Floyd's not fighting Tyson Fury. He's not fighting Sugar Ray Robinson. He's not fighting a guy who is comfortable on his back foot. Right? Let's say Floyd gets McGregor over by the ropes. Are you expecting McGregor to be like Ali or Ray Leonard over by the ropes? You think if McGregor has his back up against the ropes, he's going to have any idea what the hell he's doing? So yeah, 8-ounce gloves. I'm on the Floyd side of the aisle, and that sounds good to me. Right? Bring on the 8-ounce gloves. Right? The idea of Floyd walking down Conor McGregor, since I don't believe McGregor has any back foot game whatsoever. By the way, we don't see a back foot game in the limited sparring footage that's been released from the McGregor-Malignaggi sparring session. Right? You don't see Conor McGregor on his back foot and, backing away and trying to set up shots. You don't see that at all. Right? So, if Mayweather doesn't think you can fight backing up, what's to stop Mayweather from walking you down? Understand, Mayweather's calling card is great defense. Right? That's his calling card. Now, if Mayweather feels that McGregor can't get leverage on close shots, why wouldn't Mayweather decide to make everything up close? Right? So, by the way, for a good fight where a fighter decides, hey, I'm going to smother the other guy, I'm going to make everything up close and it's going to bother him. Look at the first Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Right? Duran decides to come inside. Right? Ray Leonard, out of ego, decides, hey, I have the faster hands. This guy's going to come inside. I'm going to prove to the world that I can match Roberto Duran on the inside. Ray gives up his legs. Ray loses the fight. Gives up his unbeaten streak. Right? It's in the second fight that Ray Leonard decides, okay, I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to move around the ring. I'm going to use the whole ring. So that's when you get the bolo punch. That's when you get Ray Leonard from distance, throwing combinations and backing away from Duran. That's where Duran gets tired of chasing Ray Leonard and says, no mas box. Right? After the fight, Duran basically says, look, man, this guy was running too much. Now let's talk about Conor McGregor. Do you think Conor McGregor can use the whole ring? Do you have any evidence that if Conor McGregor starts backing up like Ray Leonard did against Roberto Duran, that he's going to be able to actually throw some punches that land? Actually be able to do things on his back foot? Right? If he can't, somebody tell me what stops Floyd with 8-ounce gloves from coming forward on him. Also, I've heard Floyd has fragile hands. Okay, fine. Maybe they're fragile bouncing off McGregor's head, right? McGregor has a big head. But wow, What if he throws a bunch of body shots to compensate? Understand, the Mayweather left hook, you don't know if it's going up top or going down low. Revisit that Mayweather-Diego Corrales fight. Right? So if McGregor gets hit in the head a few times and then starts protecting his head, how do you know Mayweather is not going to then hit him in the kidneys and drop him like Bernard Hopkins dropped Oscar De La Hoya? Right? So, for all the folklore, for all the mythology, bigger man against smaller man. Right? Oh, not 10-ounce gloves, but 8-ounce gloves. God bless. Mayweather now is talking about bringing the fight to McGregor. Right? What does all of that add up to? Mayweather by KO. Right? Don't be fooled by the hype. Folks, at the end of the day, this is a guy who's having his first professional boxing match, who doesn't have a long amateur pedigree of being a boxer, right? Here online, I criticize even guys who have amateur pedigrees, right? You've heard me say that I believe Alexander Usyk and Maris Briedis likely beat, in my opinion, and I know I sound crazy, but it's all good for me, right? Anthony Joshua, gold medalist in the Olympics. Deontay Wilder, bronze medalist in the Olympics. Now think about it. You have guys in the sport who are still learning the sport. I think Joshua and Wilder are still learning the sport. This is after amateur career, award-winning amateur careers, where they actually represented their countries, UK, US, in the Olympics. And they're still learning the game because boxing is that complicated. Right? Contrast that with Conor McGregor. No amateur boxing experience. No Olympics. Right? And he's in the ring against a guy who is an Olympic bronze medalist, who has been undefeated and has won titles in several weight classes. And I'm to believe that Conor McGregor is going to control the pocket in the fight? You got to be kidding. I believe after the fight, it'll be obvious how preposterous some of the public mythology was going into the fight. Right? I'm surprised that McGregor is getting this much respect on the betting line. Right? I'm surprised there are people out there who believe that if you drop from 10-ounce gloves to 8-ounce gloves, suddenly Mayweather's in trouble. Right? Quite the opposite. Right? Conor McGregor should realize that with 10-ounce gloves, he was going to get stopped. Guess what? With 8-ounce gloves, he's going to get stopped. Anyway, that's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I know there are a lot of MMA people who watch these videos because I've read the comments here, right? I want the MMA crowd to come out here and tell me why I'm full of you-know-what in the comment section to this video, right? I don't believe Conor McGregor has a boxing back foot game, right? I don't believe Conor McGregor can throw devastating punches up close. Right? I think Mayweather can get inside his power zone. I don't believe Conor McGregor has the skill set to keep Mayweather from collapsing the pocket if Mayweather decides to do so. So, in sum, I feel all of the recent news actually breaks the Mayweather way. If you disagree, I hope to hear from you in the comment section to this video. Let me also thank you for stopping by.